Broncos country, NFL draft nerds, what's going on? Today, we're taking a look at a handful of plays from Luther Burden and what he could possibly bring to an NFL team such as your Denver Broncos. But y'all be sure, let me know your thoughts on him in the comments as we get rolling with this. Smash that like and subscribe. We're on our way to 2,200 subs. Shout out to Guru Film Room, most extensive raw college film database and player cut up database out there right now. He's been so kind to have me on as a collaborator. So if you want to join me in our film rooms, we're putting out new film rooms every single week. Links in the description for that with an early bird code. But let's go ahead and dive into this, guys. Now, Luther Burden, he's a top 10 player overall on the PFF NFL Draft Big Board. And this is interesting. If you were to think of a wide receiver who had more or who forced the most missed tackles in the NCAA this year, you'd probably think it would be somebody like Tet McMillan, right? No, it was Luther Burden, 5'11". Okay, guys, 5'11". Let me get his size right now. I think he's like at 208 pounds. So yeah, built very well. Let's dive into the film, guys. You're gonna love this. So without further ado, I just wanted to get to the funnest play first. This is at the end of the game for what should have been the game winning touchdown. Now, I do have this slightly slowed just so we're not getting any copyright strikes or anything like this. So it's not full game speed, it's about at point 0.7. But watch this. There's 2 minutes, 35 seconds left in the game. They're down by 5. They got to make a big play. Watch the release here from Luther Burden. Again, 24 covering the slot is not even able to get his hands on him. Then one-handed catch, then forcing a missed tackle right there, getting that yak touchdown. This is clutch. This is clutch stuff. Again, watch it again. Let's get back to that release, and we'll watch the end zone view here in just a minute. But a guy who made a big play in this case when the game was on the line. This should have been the game-winning touchdown. South Carolina drove down the field at the end of the game, but a fantastic release, ball tracking ability on display there, and then again, one-handed catch, forcing that missed tackle. Love that. Like, this is the type of stuff why you can see he's a first-round guy this year, no doubt about it. Brady Cook makes a great throw here. It was really strange. Mizzou just didn't have him involved. Like, they didn't make it a priority to get him the ball as much this year. His yards went down about 50% this year and had about 20 less, receptions and targets. And, that fan is just in disbelief. But if they had just kept him involved more, I mean, I think you would have seen Mizzou have a better record. But yeah, a guy that has tremendous downfield playmaking ability, but also let's get to the 10-25 mark. You can play some quick game with him as well. So a quarterback like Bo Nix or somebody who values, playing that quick timing, rhythm and timing game. You can also do that here with Luther Burden on some quick outs. He can also run deep outs. I mean, check this out right here. I mean, out of his break, NFL quarterbacks are going to be able to put that ball on him even before he's out of the break and give him a chance to, complete that spin move to get upfield. Again, remember, guys, like this guy forced the most missed tackles from the wide receiver position this year in college football at 5'11", 208. All right. So a guy that just needs the ball in his hands, and he's always going to be making something out of nothing for the most part. And I really love that. He's got a strong base and just a nose for finding the right place of leverage or like vision in a sense. But let's take a look at, this jet sweep that he's used on here. I thought was pretty creative. Broncos fans, this might remind you a little bit of Marvin Mims here at the 18:05 mark. Watch this coming in motion here from the bottom of the screen. Takes it. And then look, foot in the ground, getting upfield, and then look, force missed tackle right there. And that allows him to get another 2.5 yards on that play. Let's watch it again. edge is kind of sealed off, but he's able to stick his foot in the ground and get upfield. And yeah, man, like what is going to look like a short gain actually becomes like a gain of 4.5 yards. And I think that again, it's just one of those little things that makes all the difference in the NFL. Is can you turn a 1 yard gain into a 3 yard gain? Can you turn a 3 yard gain into a 7 yard gain? These types of things. uh, Luther Burden is a guy that's always extracting the most possible out of every play that he's involved in. And again, why wouldn't you look to get this guy the ball? I mean, he didn't get his first target until more than halfway through the first quarter of this game against South Carolina. Is just totally shocking. But let's check out his run blocking ability as well on this next play. Um, I think he's just like most wide receivers coming in, they got work to do in the blocking game. But look how he holds 24 there on a nice block. 24 can only swipe down because he's held up by Burden, and it becomes a huge gainer. And a lot of this is thanks to Luther Burden locking up 24, who he scored that touchdown on later in the game. 24 had a tough time covering him in the slot. And look, sells him on like it's a receiving route at first, and then is able to block him. And man, I just love it. Good stuff by Luther Burden right there, blocking. Just a guy that can find holes in the zone. And again, guys, remember we're going a little bit in slow motion here, but I wanted to show you this on him running this deep crosser through zone. Now he's not the first read here, I don't think, but it just goes to show like you can run plays to where he's going to be the first read. Motions in a little bit and then runs this deep crosser throughout zone. And again, he's just able to separate over these linebackers, find the empty spots in the zone coverage, the holes in the zone coverage very, very quickly. Remember, this is a little bit in slow motion, so not full speed, but again, he's going to be a mismatch in zone coverage and graded out very well against man coverage as well, which is awesome to see. We'll watch the film here from the end zone, and you can just kind of see like 17 just would have no chance. But Brady Cook wanted to just airmail that one, so it is what it is. Let's go and see one more play that I thought was interesting. Kind of used like Marvin Mims, but watch how just the threat of him completely impacts this play. So it's a big gainer because they got to respect his speed. Oh, it's the 24:05 mark. Sorry, guys. All right, check this out. So they bring him in motion, and then watch all these defenders. They have to hesitate. They have to sniff out that stuff with Burden first, and it allows them to get great momentum on the run play going in the opposite direction. Look how everybody's got to respect 3 coming across the formation, and yeah, becomes a nice substantial gain there for the Mizzou Tigers. Now, as a Broncos fan, imagine if we got freaking Marvin Mims and Luther Burden on the field. There's just so much speed to respect. Maybe we get a running back like, um, Caleb Johnson, Quinshon Judkins, Travion Henderson, Devin Neal. There's just so many of them. Dylan Sampson, guys with true speed. You just got to respect it. You got to respect his speed. And you saw 17 and 0. They're just able to hesitate just a little bit, which helps open up this play for 0 on Mizzou for the Mizzou Tigers. Look, they just have to hesitate. That split second, 17's completely out of the play there. And again, just shows you what true speed can do. And again, like Luther Burden, he's somebody who is ranked very highly coming into this draft. PFF has him as the number 2 wide receiver. Now, I will say Travis Hunter, people might disagree with this, but Travis Hunter's gonna play a wide receiver the NFL. And I know I've flip-flopped on this throughout the season, but I am convinced if he's gonna be full-time at one position down the line, he is going to be a wide receiver doing it. But I think he's gonna start out playing both ways. at both corner and wide receiver. So say Luther Burden is your number 3 wide receiver. You can get him at number 20 or in the late half of the first round. Other guys like Matthew and Emeka Ibuka will be available. And again, like this isn't the deepest draft when it comes to the wide receiver position, but there is some, I think, really good high end talent still available. And a guy like Luther Burden, I think, plays a little bit bigger than his size. Again, 5'11, 208. Look at this, 30 missed tackles on the year from the wide receiver position. Still, even though he had 40 less targets this year, 25 less receptions this year. Again, why did they not just prioritize involving him more in the offense? Maybe Mizzou fans can answer that for me, but still remained very efficient, 11.1 yards per reception, and still had 6 touchdowns. So look at this, grade versus man coverage, 82.2. He can separate. He's got speed. He is not just fast, but he is also quick and twitchy and also hard to bring down. 5'11", 208. It's a really nice size for a wide receiver. Don't forget, 30 missed tackles forced this year. So, y'all, let me know your thoughts on Luther Burden. Do you want to see him in Denver? If you're a fan of another NFL team, do you want to see him used or brought to your team with their first round pick used on him? Let me know in the comments. So, guys, I got more film rooms coming out. You're going to absolutely love what we got planned for you this week. So be sure to smash that like and subscribe. I just got a Matthew Golden cut up as well. So we'll be taking a look at him soon, as well as Deion Walker. So it's going to be awesome. Thanks for tuning in, guys. I'll see you guys again soon. Go Broncos.